Hey there, it's Jess from Head to Toe Health. We're going to run through a really nice calf stretch today. It's really strong. It's great for Achilles issues or arch issues. You want to hold this stretch for a minimum of 2 minutes, so it's a really strong one. We want to push into about 7 to 8 out of 10 in intensity. So bring your foot back far enough that you get a good stretch out of the calf when you've got your heel on the floor. And I find it a bit stronger to do it from my elbows. You can do it from your hands. But I find if I'm into the wall a bit more, I can get a bit more pressure through that arch and through that Achilles. So you're pushing right down into that heel. You really want to make those muscles stretch. Feel the fascia stretch. Use that imagery that you're opening up through that area. You're lengthening between the heel to the knee. And make sure you maintain that stretch. You've got to maintain the pressure for the 2 minutes. Keep the back straight. Make sure your head and neck is relaxed because you're going to hold it for a while. After 2 minutes, come back up, do the other side, go do the initial side again, and then back to the second side. So you're doing 2 minutes, 2 sets each side. So first of all, we're going to start with a side-on stretch. So you can move anywhere from a chair up even higher onto a table or a bench top. So bringing the heel on, pointing the toe up towards the roof, knee straight, and you're going to drop through that hip there, through that stretching hip. Make sure you're a nice straight line across through the pelvis and into the leg. You don't want to let the body tip this way because you'll lose part of the stretch. So this stretch, you generally feel it down the inside of the back of the leg. So it's going to be part of hamstring and part of your adductors. So holding that for 60 to 90 seconds. Then from there, just going to twist around and go onto a front-on stretch. This one's a little bit different. Toe up towards the roof, you're going to bend the knee a little bit and you're going to tuck the tailbone back and up. So you're going to try and get that sitting bone moving away from the knee. So instead of having to lean over the leg and compromise the back, you can keep the back nice and straight and just tuck the tailbone. So this will generally take the stretch off, and then you're going to bring the stretch back on by tilting the pelvis through there. So again, 60 to 90 seconds with that one, and then you can come down. So always do side on before you do the front on. Make sure that your pelvis is directly side on to where your foot is, and this way you're going to be directly square right angles with where the foot is that way as well. We're going to run through a really effective quad stretch. So first of all, you want to get the position on the wall with that foot. So you're going to bring the knee fairly close into the wall. You might have to adjust it as you go, and then bring the foot forward. So your front knee is at 90 degrees and your knee stretching leg is just underneath the hip. So if you can, try and get the ball of the foot onto the wall. For some people, you might have to start with just the toes on the wall, the back of the toes. If you need to, you can also put a pillow or a folded up towel underneath the knee. So from that position, you're going to tuck the tailbone down. So you're getting a stretch, a really strong stretch through the quad. It's a difficult position to get into, but it's definitely worth it because the amount of stretch and benefit that you get from this is brilliant. So again, you're going to hold that for 30 to 60 seconds, change sides, and then repeat it on each side. I'm going to run through a glute stretch. This is really specific for glute medius, which is one of the troublemakers in the glutes. So laying down, that straight foot goes straight out away from you, keeping the knee straight. And we're going to bring this opposite knee towards the opposite shoulder. So you'll feel the stretch through the buttock in there. If you find that you get a little bit jammed up in the front of the hip, you can just bring that foot out a little bit towards that shoulder as well. So you're opening up through that knee a little bit more. So if you can hold that stretch for 30 to 60 seconds and then do the other side, do twice each side, twice a day. So going into a hip flexor stretch, this is for the psoas. You're going to put the front foot out to the side of the mat. The back foot goes out to the other side of the mat. The knee stays where it was. Make sure your hips are square to where you initially started. And then from there, you're going to twist or tuck the tailbone under. So you're tucking the pelvis backwards, flattening through the lower back. Bring the pubic bone up, and you get that stretch come on into the front of the hip there. So to make the stretch even more localized, you're going to rotate more the tailbone out towards that front foot.
So you'll get more of a stretch in underneath through the inside of the thigh as opposed to the front, and that's actually where your psoas attachment is. So that's going to be much more localized for the psoas muscle. Again, you want to hold that one for 60 to 90 seconds to get most benefit from that. And obviously going back and doing the other side. Say we've got a pec exercise, so this will stretch the chest nicely. So you're going to bring the elbow about ear height up against the wall, bring one leg forward, and then you're going to lean in towards that stretch. So try not to bring the head too far forward. It's really trying to bring the chest forward on an angle into the wall and just opening up through the chest there. Hold that stretch for 60 to 90 seconds. Just really allow it to release. If you are getting any shoulder discomfort over the top especially, drop that elbow down to the point where you're not getting that discomfort. You will still get the benefit of a stretch, but as you get more comfortable with it, then move that elbow up to that ear if you can. Today we're going to work through 2 neck stretches. So one's more for the trapezius muscle down into the shoulder, and the other one's more for the upper neck. So first of all, just bring the hand on the opposite side of the head. You're going to let the weight of the arm drop down through the head. So we're not going to pull down, we're just going to gently open up through the side of the neck. So hold in that position for about 10 seconds. Then from there, you can just rotate the head a little bit as if you're looking down to your armpit and see if that gives you a stronger stretch. So find whichever angle is more comfortable for you and giving you more of a stretch and go with that one. So you want to hold for the stretches for 30 to 60 seconds. If you go for 60 seconds, you're getting more of a fascial stretch. So you get extra benefit the longer that you hold the stretch. And as you come out of it, just do it that nice and slowly, and then just give the shoulders a shake and then do the other side. For the upper neck stretch, you're going to interlace your fingers behind your head, and again, just gently letting the neck settle down. And then from that position, you're going to rotate the head to one side as if you're looking at your elbow. Hold in that position. About 10 to 15 seconds for these ones. And then you're going to roll to the other side. Just as far as comfortable, but just allow the head to relax down, and the upper neck will take a nice stretch. Come back to the middle, hold that stretch again, 10 to 15 seconds. And then just coming up and give the shoulders a shake, give the neck a bit of a move around. Enjoy.